6.1 FM. Today is Monday, January 13, 2024. My name is Marka Davis, presenting this edition of the news program. The top stories we are following tonight: visiting World Bank delegation vows to strengthen support to Liberia's energy sector and other development programs, meets President Joseph Boakai in Monrovia. House Speaker Richard Cohn vows to institute robust reforms to modernize the House of Representatives, decries lack of public trust in the legislature as he challenges his colleagues to do more for the Liberian people. One of the suspects linked to the Capitol building fire pins at the Temple of Justice following attempt to have him re-arrested. And of the home front, at least 16 civilians killed in a military airstrike in Nigeria's Zamfara state, apparently after being mistaken for criminal gangs, according to the BBC. The details of these developments, including the bulletin of news, voices of the newsmakers, sports, are all part of this presentation. We're taking a short break to be back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
Well, thanks for rejoining us. This news broadcast is proudly sponsored by EcoBank Liberia and Orange Liberia. Let's now cross over to Naketa Roberts to bring us the bulletin of news. Good evening.
Good evening, Marka. Good evening, everyone. The World Bank delegation visiting Liberia has held talks with President Joseph Boakai at the executive mansion in Monrovia. The delegation is led by World Bank Vice President for Western and Central Africa, Myean in Liberia from January 13 to the 14th, 2025. On Monday, the delegation met with President Boakai and some top officials of government, including Finance Minister Augustine Gaffron. The meeting, according to the Executive Mansion Center on the World Bank's group engagement in Liberia over the next 5 years. The delegation is also expected to visit key projects, including the Marka Hydro Power Plant and Afropar Factory, Liberia International, showcasing the World Bank's group investment in energy assets and private sector development. Speaking to journalists after the meeting with President Joseph Boakai, the World Bank Vice President Usman Diagadi said they are in Liberia to see the level of progress the country is making and to formulate new partnerships. Diagani noted that during their meeting with President Boakai, the issue of having a more vibrant seaport in Liberia was top on the agenda, and they look forward to helping to make Liberia seaports a better one. He emphasized the World Bank willingness to work with Liberia to create a better living condition for the people of Liberia. House Speaker Richard Cohn has vowed to institute robust reforms to modernize the House of Representatives. Speaker Cohn revealed plans to introduce and launch digital voting machines and a comprehensive website to provide real-deal access to legislative proceedings and renaming committees to reflect a broader mandate. At the official opening of the second section of the 55th legislature on Monday, Speaker Cohn noted that these reforms will modernize and make the House processes more open, inclusive, and transparent. Representative Richard Cohn, who was voted in a controversial election during the leadership crisis, explained that improving financial and system audits will further underscore the House's commitment to transparency and accountability. At the same time, Speaker Cohn has acknowledged that the Liberian people are angry with members of the legislature. He stated during Monday's opening ceremony that the legislature is facing major challenge of restoring public trust and confidence in the legislatures. Speaker Cohn told his colleagues that the people across the country do not seem to be happy with them, stating that they need to double up their efforts to rebuild that trust. He added that to do so, the legislature must embrace transparency and accountability and be open and inclusive in its operations. At the same time, the Liberian Senate has officially resumed work for the second section of the 55th legislature. During the opening of the session on Monday, Senate Pro Tempore Yomli Kanga Lawrence provided summary reports of the Senate for 2024, including the current state of the Senate's governance, financial management practices, among others. Pro Tempore Lawrence said in 2024, the Senate passed 27 legislations, confirmed about 996 nominated government officials, while 40 legislations were still in committee rooms. The Grand Bassa County Senator informed her colleagues that the agenda of the Senate for the next 3 months will mainly focus on the 40 bills that are in committee rooms. Meanwhile, Pro Tempore Lawrence said the Senate will no longer tolerate unlawful behaviors and misleading information about the Senate bar staffers. The pro tempore recounted the recent incident where staffers held a press conference citing unpaid benefits. She has therefore urged Senate staffers to engage the appropriate authority on issues and avoid spreading misleading information. Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence further expressed condolences to the families of fallen members of the Senate, including Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson. One of the suspects linked to the Capitol building fire has been rearrested after he was released by Criminal Court B, doing suspect Tomon Eterat arrest. According to RCR judicial correspondent, he fainted at the Temple of Justice and was rushed to the hospital by the police, where he is currently getting medical attention. He was charged for multiple offenses, ranging from illegal possession of firearm, aggravated assault, criminal conspiracy, among others. Prior to suspect Tomon Etaraj rearrest, he was turned over to Criminal Code B on Monday, January 13, 2025, following his arrest in Sierra Leone, contrary to reports that he had gone missing in government custody. His appearance in court, according to RCR judicial correspondent, was as a result of a raid of habeas corpus filed by defense lawyers against the police and the Ministry of Justice for wrongfully detaining their clients beyond 48 hours without charging him. During Monday's habeas corpus proceeding, Judge Torgbean noted ruled that suspect Thomas Etaraj alleged that he was tortured while in police custody, but said that the court is without the authority to verify the current physical state. Judge Nota later ruled that the suspect be taken to a credible health facility and bring the report on before January 16, 2025. Judge Nota requested that the issue of rights have become a concern of the suspect and the court cannot downplay the same, therefore ordering his release to his family members. But prosecuting lawyers led by Maserati County Chief Prosecutor Councilor Richard Scott took exception of Judge Nota's ruling, saying they will take advantage of the law. The Supreme Court is expected to entertain re-argument into the case between the management of the Gracious Right and the Assets Recovery Team this Tuesday after 8 months of delay. The High Court's decision, according to RCR judicial correspondent, was through a notice of assignment issued on Friday, January 10, to the parties' lawyer. The assignment revealed that the matter will be heard before the full bench of the Supreme Court, and the parties' lawyer have been mandated to file their legal briefs on or before Tuesday as provided by law. Our judicial correspondent further said that the Supreme Court's decision comes following series of public outcry regarding the delay of the case between Gracious Right and the Assets Recovery Team after 8 months. The management of Gracious Right has since filed a petition to the Supreme Court requesting President Joseph Boakai, that's questioning President Boakai Executive Order 126, creating the Assets Recovery Team, headed by former Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission Chairman Councilor Edwin Martin. The petitioner believes that President Boakai's executive order undermines the Constitution when the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission was established for such purpose and wanted the High Court interpretations of the matter. The government of Liberia has opened the book of condolence for the late Enema County Senator Prince Johnson. The late Senator Johnson served as chairman of the Senate Committee on Internal Affairs before his death on the 28th of November 2024. President Joseph Boakai led an array of government officials at the Capitol building on Monday to sign the Book of Condolence. Among those who signed the Book of Condolence on Monday was former President George Weah, former political ally to the late senator. Speaking to a team of journalists at the Capitol building, former President Weah described the signing of the Book of Condolence as a memorial moment in the country. He stated that he and the late Neighbor County Senator were good friends and have ever been good to his family over the past years. Former President George Weah promised to be in Neighbor County for the burial of the late Senator Prince Johnston to pay his final respects. A Liberian politician, Chief Cyril Allen, has criticized the Boakai administration first-year leadership. Chief Allen said the first-year leadership has brought a complete setback for struggling Liberian citizens. According to him, the 1 year of the UP government has proven nothing as promised to address the well-being of the struggling masses, including improvement of the country's economy. Chief Allen said people who voted President Boakai to power are on various radio platforms and street corners, expressing their frustration and disappointment, especially about the economy and violation of the rule of law. The former National Patriotic Party and CDC executive mentioned that it is disheartening to see a government that campaign on the agenda to strengthen the bar system be prioritizing their own interests rather than the interests of the masses. He spoke on a radio interview in Monrovia. And away from Liberia, at least 16 civilians in Nigeria's northwestern Zamfara state have been killed in a military airstrike, apparently after being mistaken for criminal gangs. Residents told local media that the victims were members of local vigilante groups and civilians defending themselves from armed gangs notorious for kidnapping people for ransom. The strikes targeted militant gangs in Zuman and Marudan area, and the state governor, Dawudat Lorad, offered his condolences to the community. The military has acknowledged conducting airstrikes, which it said has dealt a decisive blow to burden tourism villages in the country. The Nigerian Air Force said it was investigating reports of the vigilante losses. That's the bulletin of news. Is back to you, Marka.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
Into Truth FM 96.1.
what's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Boakai if you don't organize yourself in a grateful manner, we'll take your better Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News summary at 12. My name is Hansen there represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
Well, thanks to Naketa Roberts for bringing us the news bulletin tonight. It is a regular feature here on News Desk. If you're just joining us, one of the top stories we are following tonight, one of the suspects linked to the Capitol building fire pins at the Temple of Justice following attempt to have him arrested. Let's go for the first development tonight. The World Bank delegation visiting Liberia has held talks with President Joseph Boakai at the Executive Mansion in Monrovia. The delegation is led by World Bank Vice President for Western and Central Africa, Usman Ghana and is in Liberia from January 13 to 14, 2025. On Monday, the delegation met with President Boakai and some top officials of government, including Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gafwa. Speaking to journalists at the Executive Mansion after the meeting with President Boakai, the World Bank Vice President Usman Ghana said they are in Liberia to see the level of progress the country is making and to formulate new partnerships.
We are here as for this mission to recognize very progress that Liberia is making, democratize the country and base stability not only on the political front but also on economic front in order to create better conditions for people to have access to services, including for youth to have access to jobs. The World Bank has a long-standing partnership with Liberia. So in the context of our mission, we discuss the different contours and principles of this partnership. The president has been very generous with his time in sharing with us the condition which he found took over the leadership of the country and called for urgent and more robust support for the partners, including the World Bank. So we assure commitment to continue to work with Liberia, support the new arrest agenda that has been defined, and do so in the context of a new country partnership framework that we are preparing.
Usman Tiaganan is World Bank Vice President for Western and Central Africa. He spoke in Monrovia on Monday during a meeting with President Joseph Boakai as the Executive Mansion in Monrovia, where House Speaker Richard Cohn has vowed to institute robust reforms to modernize the House of Representatives. Speaker Cohn revealed plans to introduce and launch digital voting machines, a comprehensive website to provide real-time access to legislative proceedings, and the renaming of committees to reflect broader mandates. At the official opening of the second section of the 55th legislature on Monday, Speaker Cohn noted that these reforms will modernize and make the House of Representatives processes more open, inclusive, and transparent. He also acknowledged that the Liberian people are angry with members of the legislature, calling on his colleagues to do more to be transparent and accountable to the Liberian people.
In the House of Representatives, in the unfortunate final incident, damage the joint chamber and the House of Representatives are clear indication that the responsibility to promote peace, advance unity, restore trust cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, let this session make a turning point where we demonstrate our unwavering commitment to transparency, accountability, and equitable development for all our body. As a result of our invitation extended to us by the company of the People's Republic of Ghana, we were able to hold peaceful bilateral discussion with our counterpart in Accra. This discussion was so witness and experience sharing between Liberia and the sister Republic of Ghana, where members of this house will be supported to exchange learning with Ghana as well. Another major challenge we face today is the restoration of public trust and confidence in the legislature. To be true to all of us here today, our people across the country be having with us. We need to go out on efforts to rebuild that trust. To do so, we must embrace transparency and accountability and be open and inclusive in our operations. That's why I believe introducing digital voting machines, launching a comprehensive website to provide real-time access to legislative proceedings, and reminding commitment to our reflection. Each important is very needed in our legislative body.
He is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Richard Kunde, speaking during the official opening for the second section of the 55th legislature on Monday. At the same time, the Liberian Senate has officially resumed work for the second section. During the opening of the section on Monday, the pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, namely Kanga Lawrence, provided summary reports of the Senate for 2024, including the current state of the Senate governance, financial management practices, amongst others. Pro Tem Kanga Lawrence said in 2024, the Senate passed 27 legislations, confirmed about 996 nominated government officials, while 40 legislations are still in committee rooms.
Welcome you back to the second section of the 55th legislation. Today we are here to review the second section of the 55th legislation, and I wish to briefly review a summary report of the first session, including the current state of the Senate governance and financial management practices. Legislation statistics summary from January to December 2024. Total legislation facts 27, ratifications 18, amendments 3, enactments 6, nominees confirmed 996, legislation in committee room 40. As a result of these reports, I wish to inform all committees that the agenda for the first 3 months will focus on all bills in committee rooms. All committees are required to report on a weekly basis as of Tuesday, January 21st, 2025, on bills in committee rooms. Failure to submit on 2 occasions will result in the setting up of active committees or committee of the whole to expedite these processes. The Secretary of the Senate will officially communicate to all relevant committees on tomorrow, January 2025. You know, as some of the 40 days that I need for the trial time, and ask to amend chapter 31 of the executive law to establish a monitoring authority.
Meanwhile, the pro tem of the Liberian Senate says the Senate will no longer tolerate unlawful behaviors and misleading information about the Senate by staffers. The pro tem recounted the recent incident where staffers held a press conference citing unpaid benefits. She has therefore urged Senate staffers to engage the appropriate authorities on issues and avoid spreading misleading information about that august body.
We had 3 special sittings in 2024, and all staff are paying for 2 sittings, and the payment for the final sitting will be processed on the 2025 national budget.
Well, sorry for that mixed accept. Let's bring you more stories here tonight on News Desk. The government of Liberia has opened the book of condolence for late Nema County Senator Prince Johnson. The late Senator Johnson served as chairman of the Senate Committee on Internal Affairs before his death on 28 November last year. President Joseph Boakai led an array of government officials at the Capitol building on Monday to sign the book of condolence. Amongst those who signed the book of condolence on Monday was former President George Weah, former political ally of the late senator. Speaking to journalists at the Capitol building, former President Weah described the signing of the Book of Condolence as a memorial moment in the country. He said he and the late senator were good friends and has even been good to his family over the past years.
We are allies, you know, a former ally. We went campaign together. Remember this day in 2005, something like this, or that it's been a very good fight. Different to my president of I'll be in sort of
Well, former President George Weah speaking to a team of reporters after he signed the book of condolence for former or the late Nema County Senator Prince Johnson today at the Capitol building in Monrovia. A carpenter identified as Mark Colley of the Polotori area has fallen victim to mob violence in the 540 community of Congotown, resulting in his death. Tragic incident occurred early Friday morning when Colley was on his way to complete a carpentry job in the community. Eyewitness Lawrence Topa explained that Colley was carrying a plank on his head at around 6 a.m., intending to finish a task for a lady before proceeding to another job scheduled later that day. His commitment to meeting both obligations led him to waking up early, a decision that would tragically cost him his life. According to Topa, Colley was questioned by road sellers near the ministerial complex about a plank he was carrying. Despite explaining that he was the legitimate owner, the group became suspicious and accused him of theft. This accusation sparked an attack, and Colley was brutally beaten to death by the mob. He's being explaining more to journalists.
Brother, who's this guy from his back. He's a carpenter with his money to man. He had a shop opposite Torgbean right here, right on the main road. This one plays the beer and things on that road. So it was Friday morning. He had a contract on him in the shop, but at the person was very meeting him. And then a lady for me also to get his contract, but the man who had a thing to fix the shop. It was the man wanted it on Friday, but he decided to go soon to go and do the woman of work fast and come back in the shop to go and the woman of the game. So when we go to watch the money for the Awawa, we see that after the depot. In the cab there, what they have the outside on the other side behind the ministry complex. A lot of people are studying the plan there, they ask him, "Why are you coming to play?" He said, "It's my own place to my shop." They said, "No, you stole it." The man said, "I'm not a thief." That's how they jump on him. They said he stole it. And one of the things we realized that in this country, the moment they say, "Bro, people don't accept." Right away, they can jump on the person, they start beating him. They beat Mark to death. You understand? And then we all know every morning, if we fall from Peace Day, heading to where we can see checkpoint at Peace Island Junction. Same way at night, checkpoint can be Peace Island Depot in the cap. When they were beating this guy, so many to them. And so for the beating someone over there, someone ran to the police.
Well, in separate remarks, Alec Colley and a woman identified as Patience Colley, both relatives of the deceased, expressed their frustration over the police inaction during the tragic incident. According to them, officers failed to intervene despite being alerted and stood by as Mark was brutally killed by the mob.
Maybe somebody coming to the community in the morning, so if they refuse to protect the migrants, probably they are here for corruption and so the government should find means to change the police or we should find ways to okay, so let's hear what's anyone? What is happening? What is it?
Money,
persons claiming to be relative to the late carpenter Mark Colley. They're calling for justice in the mob violence that led to the death of the carpenter. Early on, you listened to an eyewitness, also known as Lawrence Topa. Well, at this point now, we'll cross over to Edwin Batafoyan to bring us sports on News Desk tonight. Good evening.
Good evening, Marka Davis. Good evening, everyone. The National County Sports Meet, which is the biggest sporting event in Liberia, has officially kicked off on Sunday, January 12, 2025, across 4 venues in Liberia, with Grand Kitmore County being the official host of this year's edition. Making remarks during the opening ceremony of the county meet in Rapper Sports, Grand Kitmore County, the chief patron of sports, President Joseph Waka, described the National County Sports Meet as an inclusive development through sports. President Waka urged Liberians to commit to the highest standard of sportsmanship in the interest of peace. The Liberian leader cautioned citizens to come together in unity and celebrate their beloved county to victory, not forgetting to think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia.
Inclusive development through sport. The truth is that this thing, colleges, like charity, the minds of the spirit of national income have taken hold of our minds, emotions, and aspirations. The moment calls for celebration of county, our country's single most popular annual event. Let me hasten to acknowledge that this thing comes deep into the core essence of our annual contentment. With all hands on deck, we get all the, I know this for sure. Henceforth, the gathering shall be the focus of national development strategy, foundation building, and fellow citizens and fellow enthusiasts, and not of media for the challenges associated with participating in these events, but still in our ability as a people to aspire to these far matters. I therefore order all of us to commit to the highest standards of sportsmanship with discipline, which represents a sense of accountability. Let us all seek to celebrate in proximity, camaraderie, to gather reconciliation, foster unity, and nurture our national honor.
Here are results from the first round of matches in the kickball category. Lofa County and Bapulu County settled to a 7-7 draw in Greenville City, Sano County, while Bomi County defeated Maryland to 1 home runs. Monterado County and Mahagibi County settled to a goalless home runs draw in the county meet. Grand Jida County suffered a 1 home runs to 0 home defeat against Grand Crew County. Bon County suffered 4-1 home run defeat to Grand Bassa County. Sando County suffered a 1-0 home run defeat to Riverside County. Nema County recorded a 3-1 home run defeat against that win against Grand Kitmore County. In the football category, Lofa County and Gbapulu County played to a 1-1 draw. Bomi County and Maryland played to a goalless draw in Banga at the Derekonia Sports Stadium. Monserrado County and Margibi County settled to an entertaining 1-1 draw at the Abbott YT Stadium in Zerchu City, Grand Jida County. Nema County recorded a 2-1 away defeat to Grand Kitmore in Rubber Sport. That's 2-1 away win against Grand Kitmore. Bon County suffered a 1-0 defeat in the hands of Grand Basso. Sando County recorded a 2-0 home defeat against Riverside County. Grand Jida County recorded a 2-1 home win against Grand Crew County. The competition will continue on Wednesday, with Lofa County against Sando County, Bapulu against Riverside, Monserrado against Grand Jida, Mahagibi against Grand Crew County, and Bon County against Bomi, Maryland against Grand Basso County. Stay at the local scene. FC Faso winger Robin Hain is set to depart Liberia to sign a 3-year deal with top Albanian club FK Apollon. According to sources, all documents have been signed and agreed upon by both his club and his management, ES Sports Management, along with scout Sadit Adalia Simpson. His current club, FC Faso, will receive 30% of any future sale, while both his former clubs, Pepe FC and CC United, will receive 5% each as development fees. In another development, Liska Crackle Emmanuel Flomo and 2021 County May winner Lofa County began their 2024-2025 National County Sportsman campaign with a dramatic 1-1 draw against neighboring Bapolu County on Sunday, January 12, 2025. Abraham Coward opened the scoring for the Go Balls in the 45th minute plus 2 minutes at a time, giving Bapolu County a comfortable 1-0 lead after an intensive first half at the James A. Green Sports Stadium in Greenville City, Sano County. James Mercy Tappet responded for the 2021 National County Sportsmen Champions with a brilliant solo goal in the 78th minute to salvage a crucial point for Lofa County. Lofa County will take on Group C host Sano County on Wednesday beginning at 2 p.m. Meanwhile, Bapolu County will be away to Riverside County at 4 p.m. And away from home, Nottingham deserved to be treated as title contender before Liverpool tripped to City Ground, says Anna Slot. Nuno Espirito Santos' side are the only team to have beaten Liverpool in the Premier League this season, following their 1-0 away win at Anfield in September of 2024. Table topper Liverpool travelled to the City Ground on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for their reverse fixture, with Forest in third place 6 points behind Liverpool. After surviving relegation last season, Forest have lost just 4 times in 20 league games this season. Nuno True refused to discuss any title talk or a scenario which will see Forest as Liverpool's nearest challengers with a victory at the City Ground. Well, that's it for this post. It's back to you, Marka Davis.
Well, thanks to Erin Batafoyan for bringing us post tonight on News Desk. In more developments, the Liberian politician Chief Cyril Allen has criticized the blockade administration's first year leadership. Chief Allen said the first year leadership has brought what he called a complete setback for struggling Liberian citizens. According to him, the 1 year of the UP government has proven nothing as promised to address the well-being of the struggling masses, including improvement of the country's economy. Cyril Allen said people who voted President Boakai to power are on various radio platforms and street corners expressing their frustration and disappointment, especially about the economy and the violation of the rule of law. The former National Patriotic Party chairman and CDC executive mentioned that it is disheartening to see a government that can ping on the agenda to strengthen the bar system being prioritizing their own interest rather than the interest of the general citizens. Sorry, we cannot get that, except former Montserrat County District 11 Representative Gabriel Yinkan has accused the UP-led government of violating the rule of law in Liberia. Yinkan has described President Boakai as the chief architect of the violation of Liberian laws. He said the president should not be the one calling for the rule of law and at the same time violating the same. Speaking on a local radio talk show, Yinkan expressed his disbelief in President Boakai's respect for the rule of law, stating that there is a continuous violation of the laws, either violating a constitution or a statute on a weekly basis.
Follows from where your caller just left off, right? It is clear to all of us that this government has a intent for the violation of the rule of law. And it is ominously threatening as far as United democracy is concerned. I keep telling this because in the last 54 plus years that I have lived, I know Liberia came to her knees in.
Well, folks, this is how we love to draw the curtains on tonight's presentation of News Dex. But before we go, these are the top stories we followed. Visiting World Bank delegation vows to strengthen support to Liberia's energy sector and other development programs, including development of seaports in the country, following a meeting with President Boakai in Monrovia on Monday. House Speaker Richard Kuhn vows to institute robust reforms to modernize the House of Representatives, decries lack of public trust in the legislature as he challenges his colleagues to do more for the Liberian people. One of the suspects linked to the Capitol building fire faints at the Temple of Justice following an attempt to have him re-arrested. And of the home front, at least 16 civilians killed in a military airstrike in Nigeria's Zamfara state, apparently after being mistaken for criminal gangs, according to the BBC. Many thanks to all of you for your listening role. Thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped to make this edition of News Desk a success. Naketa Roberts read for us the bulletin of news tonight. Edwin Batafoyan brought us sports on News Desk. Daniel Sodin sat at control and coordinated the sounds. Myean Torgbean has been behind the cameras carrying us live on Real TV on Facebook. Thanks to our sponsors, Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. My name is Marka Davis. Good night.
Real TV, True FM.
Say Real TV, True FM.
On Real TV,
Into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Boakale if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll take your data Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent. Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
We are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Real TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.